dollars should be utilized for public schooling. And if private schools have plenty of needs-based grants and things of that nature.
I'll come back to you. Ask a question from the sponsors of the event. Given the fact there are cutbacks in several health-related and health education programs in the district, would you support funding for abstinence-centered programs in the district? Doesn't matter, you can jump out of the box.
Okay. Oh, well, I would say I'm a parent. My daughter is 7 years old. And I think that abstinence is definitely, well, obviously it's the 100% certain way of stopping pregnancy and spread of STDs. So I definitely think that abstinence should be a component. But I also think that working with young people in the city, a lot of young people right now are already currently sexually active. So if they're already currently sexually active, you have an abstinence program, and those students are not being swayed by that, then the next best thing is for them to actually be safe, and to make sure that they're not getting themselves pregnant and not spreading STDs. So I would be in favor of a comprehensive program that would basically address the students who have not begun engaging in activity, to try to stop them from starting any activity, and students who are already engaged in activity and young people already engaged in activity, to discourage it. But if they're not listening, to say, look, if you're going to be out here doing these things, you got to protect yourself, and you got to take the proper precautions. And I think that's the way to go, and I think that's a realistic way to have a real talk with young people and try to get them to do the right thing and help them protect themselves.
Yeah, I think it's a multi-layered response that we have to look at. We're dealing with several health crises on many different fronts. You're looking at an AIDS epidemic in Washington, D.C. that is unparalleled in any other American city. We sort of have reversed this a little bit, and we've funded all sorts of programs that have just been boondoggles, complete waste, chasing the money down a hole. I recently read the one that's now before David Catania's committee, where someone spent millions of dollars in renovating the building, and then the building was eventually turned into a strip club. And that was money that was supposed to be going for HIV prevention. So it's tough to go back to people whose heart and faith put them in the right spot and want to come out and talk about abstinence with kids and say that there's no money for you, but all of these other sort of boondoggle HIV programs that have come forward, which just really seems to be throwing money at them. We'll continue to try to fund those. And it just shows, again, to the utter lack of oversight and accountability to the government. So yeah, I absolutely am for using some city resources and using some of the federal dollars towards abstinent programs. I believe that the one element that was on the questionnaire was equal. I don't know if we're at a point where we're equal now, because we have such a high percentage of folks that obviously are sexually active right now that we need to find a way to curtail it. But it makes sense for the long run that would definitely be the first place that we would want to go with abstinence prevention.
Well, I definitely think that we have to look at a comprehensive approach, but specifically as it pertains to abstinence, I think we have to increase the education and awareness at an early stage of our young people. I think what we've done wrong as a city is that we haven't made an intentional effort to make sure that our young people are getting the right kind of understanding about the value of abstaining. One of the things that I have a 15-year-old daughter who attends Benjamin Banneker, and one of the things that keeps her mind from going down the path of maybe some of her friends is she's so engaged in her own future. I think it starts with the home, and then it starts with any other relationships and affiliations that come into the lives of the children. Certainly the school has the most access to the minds and development of our children outside of the home. So we have to look at the educational process and how responsible are we as a city and the community to bring the abstinence message and education right where the children are. And we have to look at some of the appropriate things and some of the measures in detail, but the concept of awareness and education is something